You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Welcome back to the desk. The Fall Classic is here. The Dodgers will be taking on the Blue Jays in the best of a 7-game series. The Dodgers are looking to repeat as World Series champions. This hasn't been done in 25 years. The postseason has seen some crazy moments from the league's top stars, like Aaron Judge's 3-run home run or Kyle Schwarber's huge dinger. But let's talk about the entire postseason MVP. And alongside me is Daniel Karp, Matt Goldman, David Gordon, and Nick Durso. And I'll go to you, David, right away. Who is your postseason MVP?
Coop, I just got to say that tie matches perfectly with that shirt. Great choice.
Thank you. Appreciate
but
that.
Give me Vladdy Daddy, batting .338 with an OPS of 1,098, 6 homers, 12 RBIs, 19 hits, and 6 walks, and only 3 strikeouts. He has been on a tear, killing teams off the fastballs and making pitchers work. If he keeps this up in the World Series, he's 100% going to win the MVP, and that's only if the Blue Jays win the World Series, but he's got a great shot for him.
Great pick by you, David. Vladdy Daddy is definitely a great pick. I'll go to you, Goldie. Who's your postseason MVP?
Yeah, I would have loved to pick Vladdy Daddy, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to pick George Springer. He's 11 for 46 this postseason, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, an OPS of 930. He also has 5 doubles. When you think of clutch playoff performers, you think of George Springer. You know, the 3-run home run to put Toronto on top of Seattle. That's what legends do. He was clutch in Houston, now clutch in Toronto. That's what you like to see. That's my postseason MVP.
Yeah, he's definitely a winner, I'll tell you that. Nick?
I'm going to have to go with Blake Snell. He's 3-0 this postseason with a .6 ERA. He's got 28 strikeouts and 21 innings pitched. He's got 58 swings on his changeup. 38 of them are swings and misses. 65% whiff rate. It's the 5th best in a postseason since they started doing StatCast. And he only has given up 2 hits over his last 14 innings pitched. So I'm going to have to go with Blake Snell.
Very impressive. Like, we know how he's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud on the hill. Karp, I'll go to you. Who's your postseason MVP?
I'm going to go with somebody a little under the radar. I'm going to say Ernie Clement of the Toronto Blue Jays, 643 average in the ALDS, 18 hits and 42 at-bats, 7 RBIs, and here's the catch, 2 strikeouts in 42 at-bats. Ernie Clement could do it at third base. He could do it at second. He could play a little short. He could play a little first. He's a versatile player, which the Blue Jays have a lot of those versatile players around the field. And Ernie Clement, who's now 29 years old, is finally getting the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, great pick from you. Utility players should get some love, so good pick by you. The Dodgers knocked out the Brewers in the NLCS, sweeping them in 4 games. Matt, I know you got some highlights for us. Break us down.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani was on the bump for the Dodgers. Look at this, strikeout on Jackson Chourio. Now Yelich strikeout. For Yelich, he goes down. Just looking at it. Then William Contreras, goodbye. Ohtani up to bat now. Goodbye. See you later. Ohtani whacks that one in no time. Gives the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. And look at the fans. Now Ohtani not done yet. Look at that throw. Strikeout, hit 6 strikeout in the day on Jake Bauers. Ohtani back up to bat. He's not done. Another one, and oh my goodness, that goes 469 feet. That is revolutionary. And Ohtani makes it 4-0 on the solo shot. And look at that again. Bat flip and everything. That's aura. Now Ohtani on the mound. Top of the 6th. Ohtani, strikeout. That's his 6th strikeout. Turan goes down swinging. Big Trevor McGill comes up, 99 miles per hour. Not a problem for Shohei Ohtani. His 3rd home run of the game. Another solo shot. The Dodgers were up 5-0. Again, look at that velocity he gets off the bat. Oh my goodness. That's the icing on the cake. And the Dodgers are now in the World Series, Coop.
Yeah, it's very entertaining highlight call from you, Goldie. Well done. Dodgers did it in dominant fashion, to say the least. Go to you, Durso. How can the Dodgers win the World Series?
I'm going to have to say they just got to produce offensively. I mean, the Blue Jays' offensive production throughout this postseason has been unbelievable, and their pitching hasn't been so good. So I think if the Dodgers take advantage of that, score some runs, they'll be in pretty good shape.
Go to you. How can the Dodgers repeat as World Series champions?
So last year this wasn't the case because their starting pitching was injured, but this year their starting pitcher has been amazing. 6+ innings. They need to go 6+ innings. You have Glass now, you have Snell, Yamamoto, and Ohtani, who have been averaging over 6 innings per start, a 1.38 starting pitching ERA. They've been lethal this postseason, and the Dodgers bullpen is getting injury plagued this year, unlike last year. So to keep your starters out for as much as you can in a 7-game series, I know it's going to be a little tough, but I think that they could get it done, and that's the key to winning the World Series.
Dave Dog, swinging over to you,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
How can the Dodgers win the World Series?
They absolutely have to get to the Blue Jays bullpen early. The Dodgers have absolutely destroyed opponents' bullpen in this postseason. The Phillies, the Brewers, the Reds, they did it all. And they're also known to get out to early leads. And overall, the Blue Jays bullpen has been taxed throughout this whole postseason. And overall, they have that weaker bullpen. You know the Dodgers have the better bullpen. So they're going to have to capitalize if they want to win the World Series, and I absolutely think they will.
Maddie, finish us off for question 2.
I think the Dodgers have to pray for their bullpen. Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott aren't pitching, so you have to rely a lot on those starters, as Karp mentioned. Alex Vizia stepped away from the team for some family matters at probably the worst time possible, so you're going to rely a lot on Blake Trinan. Not saying that's the worst relieving staff in the world, but it's more appetizing when your players aren't injured. Roki Sasaki is a starter who turned a closer, but we've seen times this season where he's struggled. So if the bullpen can't bank it in, I think it's going to be a tough series for LA.
The Blue Jays knocked out the Mariners in a wild back-and-forth 7-game series. Daniel, I know you got some highlights for us on this one. Bring us through this one.
This is a fun Game 7 series. In Toronto, you see Cal Raleigh, the big dump, and Vlad Jr. going at it. And here's Josh Naylor in the top of the first off Shane Bieber, a base hit through the right side. J-Rod's going to come in and score for a 1-0 lead, but Dalton Varsho, another great postseason for him. He gets a base hit up the middle, and George Springer is going to score 1-1 after 1 in Toronto. We're going to move over to the 3rd inning, and J-Rod with a bomb left field silences the crowd in Toronto to make it a 2-1 lead for the Mariners. But look no further. They call him Big Dumper for a reason. He's got a big booty and he hits bombs. Cal Raleigh, 3-1, and that's home run number 65, which is the American League record for combined postseason and regular season home runs. So have a season, Cal Raleigh, but look no further. George Springer with a nuke. As my friend Maddie said, when you think of clutch, you think of George Springer. 4-3 Jays in the 7th, a clutch home run, and that will do it as Hoffman comes in and strikes out Julio Rodriguez for the Blue Jays to clinch an AL pennant for the first time in over 30 years and the 3rd time in team history.
Yeah, it's Blue Jays clinched. Very entertaining highlight call. I must say that. Very nicely done. But David, I'll go to you. How can the Blue Jays win the World Series?
I gotta say, they have to have starting pitching length. As I just said, their bullpen is not great. Outside of Trey Savage and Kevin Gausman, I don't trust guys like Max Scherzer or Shane Bieber to give length against the Dodgers. In Game 7 of the ALCS, Shane Bieber only went 3.2 innings with 7 hits and 2 earned runs. And I don't trust a lot of guys in the bullpen as well, like Sir Anthony Dominguez, who gave up 3 earned runs this postseason, or Luis Varlin, who gave up 4. It's going to be tough to win against heavy-hitting Dodgers team if the starters can't give them length. So, and they can't rely on their bullpen. And the Dodgers are a heavy-hitting team, so watch out for them.
Goalie, go to you. How can the Blue Jays win the World Series?
Well, they got to contain the 3 fellas, that being Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts. Ohtani may be the greatest player when it's all said and done to ever play the game of baseball, and Betts and Freeman are surefire Hall of Famers. By all means, Toronto has a solid pitching staff with Trey Savage, with Kevin Gausman, Scherzer, Bieber, but I'm not trusting these guys, as Dave Dog just said. I'm a little uncomfortable with the rest of the rotation, but if they can contain these guys and throw these adequate pitches, I think it's going to be a good recipe for Toronto to win the World Series.
Yeah, we know Shohei's there, but we can't discredit Mookie and Freddie Freeman. So glad you mentioned them. Durso, I'll go to you. How can the Blue Jays win the World Series?
I'm going to say get to the Dodger bullpen. I mean, the Dodgers starters have only given up 10 earned runs in 53 innings. They got a 1.70 ERA. The bullpen's kind of been the polar opposite. They've struggled mightily. I mean, they have 22 innings pitched, 15 earned runs. That's a 6.14 ERA. That's not going to get the job done. So the Blue Jays need to get to the Dodger bullpen if they want a chance to win this series.
Karp, round us out. How can the Jays win the World Series.
They got to play to their strengths. The Toronto Blue Jays are a frisky, fun team. They got all these little pieces around. You have Ernie Clement, Addison Barger, and you've got a lot of these little no-name guys that are in there, and they all do something well. And they all do something different that is well. And that's why the Blue Jays have built this roster that plays really good fundamental baseball, and they do like these little things so well, which got them to this point. You haven't heard of Addison Barger before this year. Nope. You barely heard of Ernie Clement. Mm-hmm. And you barely heard of some of these guys in the pitching, catching. Alejandro Kirk, another great season by him. These little guys doing these things well bring something different to the team, and this is their key to success to win a World Series.
Yeah, I mean, if they do exactly what you were saying, they have a great shot to win the World Series. We have a matchup of the Fall Classic that starts tonight, shortly after 8 o'clock at the Rogers Center. Blake Snell will be on the hill for the Dodgers, and Trevor Yasay will be on the mound for the Jays. Nick, bring us through how these two teams match up against each other.
So you see here the offensive numbers for both teams, kind of polar opposite here. I mean, 256 batting average for the Dodgers, which you wouldn't expect, but the Blue Jays are absolutely raking, 296 with 20 home runs compared to the Dodgers 13. They're getting on base kind of at the same rate, 355 to 340, but the OPS for the Blue Jays lies at 100 points higher, probably thanks to that guy there at the bottom, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Move over to the pitching. The Blue Jays, 97 innings pitched compared to the Dodgers 92, but the Dodgers' impressive 2.45 ERA compared to the Blue Jays 4.36, and the Blue Jays have given up 18 home runs compared to the Dodgers 4, and the whip is drastic as well. Dodgers almost sub-1, and the Blue Jays up there in the 1-3 range.
Karp, I'll go to you. The holy grail of questions here. Who will win the World Series in 2025? I'm
gonna say it again. Dodgers in 5 for the second year in a row. I think the Dodgers starting pitching is better. I think their lineup is better. They have more star power in their lineup, but they also have guys like Max Muncy in that lineup, Kike Hernandez, who's a Dodgers postseason legend, let's face it, maybe a postseason legend just in general. And I think the bullpen is better. I think that it's going to be an easy series for the Dodgers, maybe, dare I say, boring like it was last year. So I'm going to go with the Dodgers in 5.
David, who do you have winning the World Series, and in how many games?
Yeah, give me the Dodgers in 6. Look, the Blue Jays are a deep team, and they're very good at putting the ball in play. But the Dodgers are even deeper, and they are hungry for a second championship in a row. They have the Japanese stars of Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Sasaki. Throw in Hall of Famers Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, who already have rings. And also Teoscar Hernandez and postseason star Kike Hernandez. This team has everything they need to beat the Blue Jays.
Can't also forget about Clayton Kershaw. They have in their back pocket if they need him.
He's not pitching.
100% Hall of
Why
Fame.
not? You got to go out.
He's like 40.
You got to go out into the sunset.
Got to go out in the best way. It's his final season.
Are you arguing with me? Who do you think is going to win?
I think Dodgers.
I'm going to you, as you just mentioned it, but talk to me about...
Kershaw has arthritis, let's be honest, fellas. But I think it's the Dodgers winning 6. I think Toronto had a better regular season, but when it comes to the terms that this Dodgers dynasty is in full effect. They have a better pitching core, the better batters, and most importantly, they're coached better. I think Dave Roberts, Danny Lehman, Aaron Bates, Mark Pryor are way better coaches than really anything that Toronto has. I think Toronto's talented enough to get 2 games, but I think the Dodgers take it home.
Durso, who do you have winning the World Series and in how many games?
I'm going to say the Dodgers go back-to-back and win it in 5 games. Listen, the Blue Jays are good, but the Dodgers are just better. They have the experience. They got the veterans. They got Shohei Ohtani. So, I think the Dodgers repeat and win the World Series yet again.
And, gentlemen,
Tyler Cooper.
do
you want me to swing it to you?
Yeah, swing it to me.
Tyler Cooper, who do you think is winning the World Series?
The Blue Jays in 7 games.
Come on, Cooper.
Why is everyone Go Jays. I'm rooting for the underdog here.
Bandwagon.
I am such a bandwagon. I will say that proudly to the camera real quick before I swing it to the NBA. But there you have it for the 2025 MLB season. It all comes down to these next 7 games. And coming up next, we will have the NBA as one season begins. The MLB ends, of course. And we'll break it all down for you next on WPTV.
Pick the Blue Jays.